And we're back at it again. If you want a personal reading, you already know what you need to do. Link in the fucking bio. You already fucking know how we getting started. And if you're on YouTube, that's down below. If it's on TikTok, then it's above. So y'all know we already getting started. See, I know y'all like, where you been? I know I've been a little bit inconsistent with the lives. But guess what? I've been only going live when I've been feel cool to go live. And I feel y'all calling on my energy lately. So I feel like I had to get my ass back on here so I could talk to y'all real quick. And the reason why is because, catch me, I'm jumping right in. And for those that are just now joining me, this will be put on my YouTube so you can watch from the beginning. I feel the need to tell y'all, and catch me, I feel the need to tell y'all that, listen, y'all are not fucking lazy. You're just depressed. How you doing, D-Nice? See, y'all are not fucking lazy. See, everybody over here said you was lazy, said that you didn't want to do nothing, said that, listen, you just don't want to get up. But the point of the matter is that y'all was going through a motherfucking depression. Some of y'all are still going through a depression. And let me talk to y'all real quick. Because, how you doing, Joshua? Depression ain't fucking easy. Y'all sitting over here waking up and then wanting to go back to sleep after you wake up. It's not fucking easy. You sitting over here not wanting, depending on how deep your depression gets, you not wanting to take a motherfucking shower. That shit's not easy. See, a lot of people called y'all motherfucking lazy, but in reality, y'all wasn't lazy. Y'all just forgot y'all reason for fucking living. Some of y'all, and catch me, some of y'all was going through a depression so motherfucking deep to where it's like, nobody understand me. Nobody feel me. You don't know what the fuck I'm going through. You don't know that, listen, I got myself out of fucking bed just to come up on this motherfucking couch to sit over here and fucking still be sad. But in reality, they don't see that shit. Let me tell you right now. Cause we talking. Y'all been calling on my motherfucking energy, y'all. And I've been taking days off and I know y'all been needing me. So now I'm here. So let's talk about it. I'm going to talk to y'all because depression been beating my ass. Depression been having me up in my head lately. Depression been having me, catch me, been having me doubt my fucking self. Depression been over here. So then I go through a loop and I'm trying to figure out, where the fuck does the depression creep in at? Is it the sex? Is it me being stagnant? Is it the food? Is it because of the trauma that I went through in my motherfucking life? Like, where does the depression pick up? Is it the fucking block numbers that keep calling me at fucking 6 a.m., 4 a.m., 3 a.m. last night? Where the fuck is this depression coming from? And then I realized depression is a fucking myth. It's an illusion. It's an illusion up in your head, but how the fuck can I sit over here and talk to y'all about a fucking illusion when y'all feel this shit too? How do I tell y'all that depression is an illusion when y'all sad, when y'all don't want to get y'all asses up? Some of y'all be overeating in y'all depression, but some of y'all don't eat enough during your depression. How do I explain to y'all that depression is a fucking illusion? How do I explain that you not wanting to do nothing? You got 1,001 fucking goals, but you don't want to touch none of them because depression is beating your ass. How do I tell y'all that it's a fucking illusion? I guess I could just tell y'all it's an illusion, right? But does that stop your fucking depression from kicking in right now or by the time I get off of live? No. Does that stop you from hearing motherfuckers call you lazy? No. So what do? What the fuck do we do to get rid of depression? Well, here's what I've come up with so far. You sit over here and you get your ass up, even when you don't want to get the fuck up. You build a routine. And catch me. You build a fucking routine to stick to. Even when your ass don't want to go to the gym, you take your ass to the gym. Even when your ass, you got a pet, Get a fucking pet. Go make sure, because now you're responsible for making sure that this motherfucker eats. Now you're responsible for making sure that you're walking this motherfucker. Now all of a sudden you're responsible for another person. Listen, let me tell y'all, some of y'all got kids. And I'm sorry that y'all are going through y'all depression with y'all motherfucking kids. But guess what? That doesn't mean that life fucking stops, and I think that that's the point. See, a lot of fucking people been trying to put depression onto us, and this is where I say it's an illusion. I say depression is an illusion because people know that, we supposed to be accomplishing shit. We supposed to be fucking living. We supposed to be enjoying our fucking life. But here we are deep in our fucking heads thinking that we're not doing enough. Here we are thinking that, listen, all I want to fucking do is sleep. Here we are having kids with motherfuckers that we really didn't even want to fucking have kids with, because as quiet as it's kept, they put up a facade, and now all of a sudden when we drop this motherfucking kid, now all of a sudden who they truly are. See, we talking today. And I don't give a fuck if I touch 200 people or only fucking 10 people today. Y'all need to hear this shit. We have to sit over here. We got to get out of this fucking illusion of fucking depression, because we got so much motherfucking life to fucking live. Listen, I understand that the debt is piling up. I understand that you don't really fuck with the person you had a kid with. I understand that, and catch me, I understand that you didn't sit over here and make it to college when you wanted to make it to college. I understand that maybe you went to college, but you studied what your parents wanted you to study. You didn't study what the fuck it is that you wanted to study. I understand that really deep down you wanted to be an artist, but your parents told your ass to go be a doctor. I understand that, listen, we done spent a lot of times, because maybe college wasn't even your fucking scene. Maybe you hated school. I understand that, catch me, y'all. Now you sitting over here, you over here second guessing what you should have did. You wish you would have never torn your ACL, because you would have made it to the field. You wish you wouldn't have had that baby, because then guess what? You would be playing track in college. Like, we understand, catch me, scholarships was missed. We understand college wasn't made. We understand that we chose a relationship over fucking going to school or going away or moving out after high school. We understand we made fucking mistakes. That's what we all have in common. See, we talking about depression. We got to start where it fucking started at. Because for some of y'all, depression started when y'all was a motherfucking kid and it was projected onto you. Some of that depression actually came from your parents, and that came from their motherfucking parents. I'll give you an example. My grandmother was so motherfucking depressed on all the drugs, on all the fucking shit. She was so motherfucking depressed that she fucking ran her fucking health up to where her health started to deteriorate. First it was fucking what? Diabetes. Then it went to an oxygen tank. And then it just kept going down and down and downhill. But the point of the matter is that what I remember from my grandmother when I was fucking 6, 7 years old, I remember her crying. I remember her crying and crying. And I'll be like, Grandma, what's wrong, big dog? And what my grandmother would fucking tell me is that, Mijita, I'm just sad. I'll be like, but what you sad for? And her response was life. Fucking life. I don't got nobody to talk to me. I don't got nobody to love on me. See, your grandfather, he was a womanizer, but I love that fucking man. Now, really, she couldn't really get her shit off with me because, I was 6 years old. But at 6 years old, I still remember that conversation being in her bed. At 6 years old, I looked at this grown woman and I seen tears in her eyes, and I knew that she had a story. And my grandmother, she had a fucking story that triggered the depression within her ass. Having 6 kids, having to give one up for an adoption because she was too fucking black. Yeah. See, we talking, my grandmother, she was born in what, the 40s or the 50s. And that grandmother, she was Mexican. Imagine her marrying it to a fucking black man, but he looked like a white man because his mom was Swedish and his dad was black. And really, his dad wasn't even fully black. He was black and fucking native, so he looked like a light-skinned ass nigga. But the point of the matter is that when you raised by people that hate you, because when I say that fucking depression can go as deep as fucking who the fuck your family is, you'll see my family roots is funny as fuck. Because guess what? My grandmother was full-blown Mexican. And guess what? The Mexicans hated the black people, but she married a black man. And guess what? My grandfather was mom born in Sweden type shit. Dad born fucking in Arkansas or some shit. My great grandmother hated fucking black fucking people, talk shit about black people, but only fuck black niggas. So what we talking about? So guess what? Now we got the white side and the mixed side, whatever you want to fucking call it. They hated the fucking Mexicans and the Mexicans hated the fucking niggas. So what does that lead to, my moms? That leads to her sisters, her family, to fucking all this fucking, and catch me, y'all. It leads to, guess what? Chaos. Everybody hating each other. See, they were raised to hate each other. They was raised to talk shit about each other. So what does that mean? It means, guess what? My grandmother had to put up with a lot of fucking shit. With trauma, with depression. So when I say that my grandmother went through a lot of fucking depression, oh, that's just skin tone based. We ain't gonna talk about fucking the adoption. We ain't gonna talk about, because that's her story, and God bless her soul, she's gone. But the point of the fucking matter, and the reason why I'm telling you this, is because our depression goes deeper than fucking just us. Our depression starts with what's in our fucking blood, what's in our fucking shit, yo. So let's take it a step further. Let's talk about us. And really, I feel like God is like, let's go backwards real quick, because we got to talk about our parents. You see, my mom was raised as a black motherfucking woman. If you look at my mom, she looked like a little Mexican lady, that like Mexican and white, depending on the day. Depending on if she tanned or not. Depending on if she went to California or fucking not. But let me tell you something. If you talk to this lady, she was raised on the east side. She was very much in the streets. Very much was raised by both of her parents. But guess what? If you ever sat over here and told her that she wasn't a black woman, she would slap you in your fucking face. See, we weren't taught Mexican because guess what? Even though we were part Mexican, our black side looked down upon it. And guess what? So guess what? Mexican was just a part of us, but we were it was frowned upon, right? Okay, so we checking in. Mom was raised as a black woman, but guess what? She wasn't raised to show her emotions. She wasn't raised to sit over here and know what true love is. See, she wasn't raised, and catch my drift, y'all. She wasn't raised to sit over here and actually know how to be a real woman. Because guess what? The woman that she was looking up to was in love with a womanizer. And guess what? That womanizers would do anything to, and catch me, Grandpa, because I know you looking over me too. And he like, don't misword my shit. He let every bitch know that, listen, that's Miss G, my grandma. You gonna respect her. See, my grandpa was big up in the bar business. My great-grandfather came. My great-grandfather, he had his shoe shop. My grandfather was a bar business. We talking. I come from businessmen. But the point of the matter is, the reason why I'm telling you that is because as quiet as it's kept. See, my grandfather had his own fucking shit that he went through. Being raised by another man that wasn't even his fucking dad. Yeah. Going to the army during World War II. Yeah. Marrying a woman that already had fucking 3 kids. Yeah. 2 kids and was pregnant with 1. Yeah. But guess what? He still took in all the motherfucking kids. He still took in, and guess what? He was young as fuck, so guess what? This young, black, and really he could have passed as white if he really wanted to, but the point of the matter is my grandfather he looked like a white man with a motherfucking afro. Call a spade a spade. But the point of the matter is that the reason why I'm telling you this is because this Versus my grandmother, they created my mother, and my mother got fucking depression and anxiety and all this shit because guess what? She was never taught how to fucking get rid of it. She wasn't taught how to love herself. She was not taught to sit over here. She was taught to have a fucking family. But really, what was that family? My grandmother fucking keeping the woman off of my fucking grandfather? My grandfather turning to drugs? And it's funny because my grandfather didn't have an addictive personality. He just liked to do drugs occasionally. You know how that bar scene be. But the point of the matter is that the reason why I'm telling you this is because now it leads to me. See, my grandmother, God bless her soul, created my mom, and my mom created me. So guess what? What does that mean? We have more emotionally unavailable people creating more emotionally unavailable people, right? Yeah. So y'all, when y'all see me, when there's days where I take days the fuck off, it's because, y'all, I got some shit that goes on within me. And I want y'all to understand something. Apart from my own fucking trauma, because, y'all, we all have trauma, right? We all have shit that we go through, that we put ourselves through, right? Yeah. But, y'all, I also take on the problems of my parents. I take on the problems of my sisters, of my loved ones. So when I sit over here and I tell y'all that, listen, I still fucking communicate with my grandparents because I feel like they like, yo, Charlie, you gotta get this shit right. You gotta stop the fucking cycle of depression. You gotta stop the cycle of fucking sitting over here like allowing love to fuck you up. You gotta stop the cycle of you sitting over here and catch me. You gotta stop the cycle of you sitting over here just giving up on yourself. Because depression, and catch me, depression means if you actually fully dive into depression, then you already seen where that ended up. My grandfather and my grandmother killed themselves because of depression. And no, I'm not sitting over here saying, and catch me, I'm not saying that they took a knife or a gun to their head. Nah, because that's not how depression works, even though for some people it does. With them, my grandfather started drinking heavy. My grandmother, she stopped drinking and smoking altogether. But the point of the matter is that guess what? That sadness crept onto her. Diabetes turned into heart failure. But before heart failure, her lungs was fucked up because of depression, because she didn't want to get the fuck out of the house. See, when I was raised, I was taught that my grandmother, she was fucking fly as fuck. Yo, I could post pictures of my grandmother fly as fuck. She was the most beautifulest person, she was a Sagittarius. She could have anybody she fucking wanted. Let me tell you about my grandmother. Especially for that age, for that time. And grandmother, I'm gonna snitch on you for a little bit. My grandmother was so fucking fly. But the point of the fucking matter is that guess what? Sometimes love can break your fucking heart. Don't you love love? See, my grandfather, she met her motherfucking maker when she met my grandfather. And really, we could talk about the man before that too, Mr. Baca, that used to beat her ass. Fuck him. That's not my grandfather. But the point of the fucking matter is that catch me, y'all. The reason why I'm sitting over here telling y'all this story is because your depression be within us. Life be within us. Our trauma be within us. But who the fuck is going to deal with it if it's not us? See, my grandparents fucking passed away because depression is whooping their ass. And I see my mom going through this shit to this day right now because she's trying to find her fucking purpose. See, and the thing is that's why I feel like my grandparents is so heavy within my motherfucking energy. And to everybody that's commenting up in the comments, I'm sorry I'm not responding because I gotta stay in sync. But I'll touch y'all in a second. The reason why I feel like I'm on a calling to sit over here and heal my generation and to heal people that's within my soul family which is aka y'all, is because, catch me, y'all, depression gonna whoop our ass if we don't fucking whoop their ass. If we don't fucking heal from the shit that we were taught, then guess what? We just gonna stay stuck in this motherfucking cycle. If we sitting over here allowing fucking the people that hurt us within love, and we could talk about that motherfucker that hurt you, that bitch that hurt you, or that fucking man that fucking hurt you. We could talk about them, but I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the parents that hurt your asses too. The parents that neglected y'all, and maybe it wasn't physically neglecting, although some of y'all was physically neglected. Some of y'all, they was just mentally not fucking there because they had to work 3 jobs to keep your ass afloat. But the point of the matter is that that's why I sit over here and I tell y'all, we got to sit over here and break these fucking cycles. We have to sit over here and break what it is that we going through. And the reason why is because, y'all, if we don't fucking get it right for our fucking kids, then guess what? They gonna be just a better version of us. And as quiet as it's kept, when we get to depression, we really don't even like who the fuck we are. In reality, we don't even like how much, we don't even feel like we accomplished shit. But why is that? Because we done had kids with motherfuckers that we didn't really want kids with. Yeah. Some of us, we had the blessing to be in love with the people that we had kids with. But in reality, as quiet as it's fucking kept, as soon as that kid dropped, and even before the kid dropped, you realize that this motherfucker had up a facade before you didn't even realize that it was a fucking facade. Until permanency until permanency came up on the motherfucking table. Now they had no choice but to show you who the fuck they is. Yeah, we talking. But the point of the matter is that y'all, I want y'all to understand something. Just because you have a kid with a motherfucker does not mean that it's a death sentence. You move the fuck on when it's time for you to move the fuck on. Guess what? Just because you dropped a baby or you done had a baby with a woman, that does not mean it's a death sentence. It's only a death sentence if you choose to make it one. Nikki, we talking. So the reason why I got on this live, y'all, was because the past few days, depression been sitting over here beating my ass. But I had to come back up on here and sit over here and show face to the family. To sit over here and let you know that, y'all didn't win. The people that sit over here and catch me, the people that sit over here and that been praying for me to give up, it didn't happen. It hasn't happened. And the reason why it hasn't happened is because I have a bigger calling on my fucking life. And that's why I came and talked to all of y'all up in this bitch. Because I feel like y'all not understanding that y'all purpose is bigger than you. See, some of y'all, maybe y'all couldn't make it to the NFL. Maybe some of y'all couldn't be doctors. Maybe y'all couldn't do that art shit. But guess what? Some of y'all is fucking sitting over here having fucking the next Tupacs. Some of y'all fucking is impregnating yourselves with the fucking next fucking Muhammad Ali. Sometimes it skipped you, but you was supposed to be the fucking, what was it, the Mary to Jesus. That was Jesus' mom's name, yeah. Some of y'all was supposed to sit over here and give birth and be the fucking, and be the people and catch me. Y'all supposed to be the people that give birth to these geniuses. But the point of the matter is that what I need y'all to understand is that, listen, just because you giving birth to a genius doesn't mean that you're not a genius within yourself. See, let me tell you something about us giving birth to geniuses. And to my masculines up in here, that nut is just as fucking, that's a part of fucking birth as well, too. But the reason why I'm sitting over here and I'm talking to y'all about this is because guess what? We have no control over how our kids turn out, but what we do have control over is how we raise our motherfucking kids. And what does that mean, Charlie? I'm going to tell you. That means that, listen, all that depression that we would sit over here and talked, and all that insecurity that was projected onto us, and all that shit that we were raised to fucking see, that means that it's time for us to get rid of all that shit so we don't pass it down to our fucking kids. And I know some of y'all up in this bitch like, Charlie, I don't even got no kids yet. Me neither. But the point of the matter is I'm practicing. And what does that mean, Charlie? It means that, listen, if you fucking, then you practicing. So if you not trying to fucking have no kids, stop practicing. At least with motherfuckers that you don't want to have kids with. Because I bet you every fucking person up in this bitch that actually got a kid say, listen, be careful about who the fuck you got kids with. But the point of the matter is that, yo, I'm sitting over here telling you, y'all gotta heal y'all motherfucking selves before y'all bring in a motherfucker up in this world. And let me tell you why. I don't even care if you all the way healed. You gotta at least be working on it. And the reason why is because sometimes it takes a lifetime for you to heal. But the point of the fucking matter is that, catch me, your kids don't deserve your anger. They were brought into this world, if you think about it. Let's talk about you. You were brought into this world. You was innocent. Yeah. You was creative. Some of y'all, I'm hearing y'all was funny. Funny as fuck. But they sat over here and said, you need to shut the fuck up when you was the class clown. But some of y'all was rebellious and you was like, nigga, I ain't gonna shut the fuck up. I'm funny. You ain't see those girls over there? I made them laugh. What the fuck are you talking about? The point of the matter is that from the time that you was a fucking kid, people always told you you asked too many questions. From the time that you was a kid, listen, you might have knew how to draw. You was probably drawing on fucking walls and shit. But you got your ass beat for fucking drawing on the walls. Yeah. See, let me tell you, y'all imagination when y'all was kids, maybe y'all had some imaginary fucking friends. When in reality, if you get real spiritual, that really wasn't imaginary. Those was just the motherfuckers that kept you from sitting over here drowning and paying attention to what the fuck your parents was going through. See, let me tell you something. As kids, we were fucking, our imaginations was stripped from us. Let's talk about it. When we was kids, some of y'all had to grow up real motherfucking quickly. Some of y'all had to sit over here and catch me. Some of y'all had to sit over here and be fucking your mama's boyfriend. To my masculines out there, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. You had to be the man of the house, but in reality, that was not your motherfucking role. You was a kid. And to my femmes real quick, your mom had too many motherfucking kids, and guess what? You was in charge. So now all of a sudden, while she had to work, you had to be babysitter instead of you going and trying tennis or being a ballerina like you wanted to be, right? You didn't have the option to go be a gymnastics because money wasn't even on the table. But two, your dreams were snatched from you. Your imagination was strapped. Baby, imagination was snatched. See, whatever story that it is that you, let me tell you something. Whatever your story is, guess what? We could talk about it. But the point of the matter is that, guess what? Y'all had to realize that, listen, y'all had to grow up because y'all parents, some of y'all parents didn't want to fucking grow up. Some of y'all parents chose to have all these motherfucking kids. Then all of a sudden now you got to be responsible for raising these motherfucking kids. Matter of fact, call me mama up in this bitch because I raised all 6 of y'all asses. Type shit. That's why your siblings, they more scared of telling you the real shit than they is their own moms type shit. Because y'all the one that had to sacrifice what the fuck y'all want to do. And some of y'all are still doing that shit to this day, sacrificing. And even to my masculines, maybe you was the oldest and you had to sacrifice and look after your little ones too. But the point of the matter is that the reason why I'm telling you this is because you're, as a kid, our imagination was snatched. So what does that mean? Your dreams snatched. You said you wanted to be an OBGYN. You ain't got no money to be an OBGYN. Go sit your ass up in the other room. Shut the fuck up when grown folks is talking. They was limiting you, and catch me. They was limiting you before you even know what limitation even fucking mean. You didn't even know how to spell limitation. They was projecting they fucking shit onto you. Matter of fact, some of them was choosing alcohol and drugs over your ass. Yeah, I can attest to that. But because we was at our cousin's house, we really didn't even give a fuck. Because guess what? We got to spend extra time with our cousins. But in reality, we didn't even realize that, listen, we didn't have no place to stay. We was actually staying with our cousins. But at a certain age, our imagination, it gets stripped from us. Different trauma responses causes our imagination to get stripped from us. But in reality, the reason why I'm telling y'all about this and I'm triggering y'all and catch me, I'm telling y'all this is because y'all, we about to have kids. We grown now, right? Some of y'all already got kids, right? And to minds that don't. We about to have kids if you choose to. But I'm going to tell y'all this. Don't strip their imagination. What I'm telling y'all is don't strip your fucking imagination from your motherfucking kids, because guess what? You already know what the fuck it felt like to strip your imagination. That mean, listen, if your kids go and draw on every fucking wall up in this bitch, you don't get mad at these people. You tell them, hey, come on, we about to wash all these walls, because guess what? I don't want you to get rid of your artistic expression. I want you to sit over here and understand that, listen, if you go on here and you make these mistakes, you got to come and fix and clean up your mistakes. We gonna get you a fucking drawing pad. That means instead of y'all sitting over here and being upset, see, a lot of y'all was getting y'all ass beat for shit that y'all didn't fucking need to get y'all ass beat for. You broke a fucking vase. You didn't need your ass beat for that. You just needed them to sit over here and tell you, like, listen, slow down. They needed to teach you what value of that vase was for. They needed to just talk to y'all. Because as quiet as it's kept, is if they put y'all in the sports that they should have, or they put y'all in activities, y'all asses wouldn't have even been in the motherfucking house to sit over here and break the fucking vase. But the point of the fucking matter is that, guess what? Our parents really didn't give a fuck about what the fuck we was doing. They didn't give a fuck about, and catch me, y'all, they didn't give a fuck about our activities. And catch me. And if they did, let's say your parents is cool. Let's say your parents sit over here and put you in everything that you asked to be put in. You don't know how blessed you are. Because who I'm talking to, we didn't have that opportunity. Maybe we got to choose one activity, but we better hope it was free. And if it wasn't free, then guess what? We had them candy bars that we was selling to make sure that our uniform got paid for. Yeah. The point of the matter is that the reason why I'm talking to y'all is that, well, to be honest, I guess we just going through a life lesson. Because I thought we was talking about depression, but I guess I had to get on here and talk about lessons. But I guess that's the beauty of life, right? It's us sitting over here having a fucking revelation up in this bitch, realizing that, listen, our trauma runs deep. But we can't sit over here and pass that shit down to the next generation. We can't pass down our fucking anger, because that leads me back to my point. We was getting our ass beat for that vase, right? But in reality, your mom or your dad was beating your ass because their boyfriend or girlfriend just broke up with them, or they just found out that they was getting cheated on, and now all of a sudden they taking out their anger and frustration onto us. Or maybe they realized that their hours was getting cut, so now they taking their anger and their frustration down onto us. But guess what? Now we getting our ass beat because we broke a fucking vase. 10 times harder. And that's why I sit over here and say I need y'all to sit over here and work on whatever it is that y'all want to work on. Work on y'all anger. Work on y'all patience. Work on fucking every fucking thing before you really bring people into this world. And if you already have a motherfucker up in this world right now, I just want you to be more patient with your kids. And the reason why is because, listen, you're raising a fucking Messiah. You got to treat your kids like you give a fuck about them, because we wasn't raised. And even though we could sit over here and say our parents gave a fuck about you, because I know my mom cared about me. I really do. I just can say that she didn't know how to really give a fuck about herself, so that's where the story ends. The more y'all give a fuck about yourself, the more y'all can give a fuck about y'all kids. The more that y'all can give a fuck about y'all spouses, the more y'all can respect y'all spouses and y'all kids. But the point of the matter is that, listen, our parents didn't have fucking respect for themselves, so how the fuck could they respect us, could respect our wishes, could respect us and over here saying stop whooping our ass? It's so funny because sometimes, just sometimes, sometimes we just want to be heard. Sometimes we just want to be felt. Sometimes we want to sit over here and fucking and catch me. Sometimes we just want to be seen, really. If you think back to everything that has happened in your past and it was considered bad, it was just because your ass wanted to be seen. It was just because you actually wanted to be felt. You actually wanted to be heard. You actually just wanted to do whatever it is that you decided to. You seen your friends down the block got them fucking new shoes. You just wanted some new shoes too. You said that you wanted the new fucking PlayStation and Nintendo 60 fucking... You already know what I'm talking about. But the point of the matter is that, listen, your mom or your dad chose to spend that money on fucking alcohol versus actually getting what you wanted. Your parents chose to fucking go party over you sitting over here taking fucking vacations to Disneyland. And I'm going to keep it a being with you. Your moms and your dads chose to fuck sit over here and continue to have kids to live off of welfare because the more kids you get, the more money you get. Yeah. And the reason why I'm sitting over here and I'm talking to y'all is because all of these choices that you fucking, that they chose for their life is not what you got to choose for your life. Every choice that your fucking moms and your dads made was the choice that they had to fucking live. See, we could talk about my dad, because notice I ain't really even talked about my dad. But let's talk about him. And the reason why is because, catch me, some of y'all is going to resonate with this too. See, my dad was very much a womanizer too. It's funny, my mom married her dad in a sense. Because my grandpa, y'all remember, he was a womanizer too, right? Yeah. See, my dad was just a hurt little boy. His dad died when he was like, I can't remember if he was, I think he was like 15, 14, 15, maybe even 12. Between the ages of 12 and 15. And let me tell you how my great-grandfather got killed. I believe he was married around, or he was messing around with a woman that was married, or fucking, she had some other fucking person, and he got set up and he got killed. R.I.P. my great-grandfather. But my great-grandfather, he was a, I'm sorry, that's not my great-grandfather, that was my grandfather. My grandfather, he got killed. We talking daddy side. We not talking about the Swedish side, okay? For y'all that was here from the beginning, we not talking about the Swedish side. We talking about my people from Texas. Yeah. So, he got murdered. My dad was like 12 to 13, some shit like that. So that triggered him to feel like he had to be the man of the house. Now, mind you, I don't know why. My dad was the youngest of 9. My grandmother had 9 motherfucking kids. Yeah. But it triggered something within him, triggered his abandonment issues, whatever the case is. It caused him to realize that, listen, he had to be his own fucking man. See, he was too young, and he was really my grandmother's favorite. So people, all the other 9 really resented him. Maybe not all of them, but most of them resented him. Some of them was already away in fucking college, though. So they really didn't even know him. But the point of the matter is that my dad was fucking alone, which caused him a lot of fucking time to sit over here and go fuck around. My dad was never taught how to be a real fucking man. Slowly after, my dad was introduced to drugs because some of his brothers was on drugs. Yeah. And maybe y'all don't know this part. But the point of the matter is that that's my dad's story to tell. But guess what? We talking about it. He sat over here and was lost in the sauce. He met my mom. Mom didn't know he was on fucking drugs type shit. But guess what? My mom was a hustler. When I tell you my mom was raised, she was out here. But the point of the matter is that guess what? My mom was the one putting my dad on. My dad didn't know shit probably about streets. Like, he knew about street, but he didn't know about that street life for real. We talking today. And the reason why is because my dad went from having nothing to driving in fucking to that Tahoe, that white ass Tahoe with fucking nice ass bass system. When I tell you my mom was fucking fly, always had the newest car, always had the beats in her car, always had the fucking money. Always anybody ask my mom for money, here you go. My dad very much, guess what? He got the car too. It's funny how relationships work, right? So now all of a sudden he got pulled up. Call it a blessing or what you will. But that is what, and guess what? I'm not going to sit over here and not give my dad no slack, because my dad very much was a player within his own sense. See, my dad was very appealing. He was funny as fuck. He was very much charming. See, my dad used to have curls, had the jury curl and everything back in the day. See, I look back when my dad was like in high school type shit. I said I could see how motherfuckers was looking at you. Because right now, Dad, I don't think you that cute. I'm not even lying type shit. But back in the day, I could see how people found him appealing. Charm and sex appeal and fucking dressing. Because my dad could dress like shit. Dad's 6'3". I could see it. And you over here look like you a D-boy. I could see it. Dad. I got you. Now. Still you funny. Now. Let's keep going. That shit got to his head because guess what? With image, what my mom did was she brought my dad's image up. See, my dad already had a rep in the streets as to who he was. People knew who he was based off of the family. But what my mom did was sit over here and put that shit on him. See, he knew how to dress, but the point of the matter is he didn't have the money to get dressed type shit. Now, he's brought up. Guess what that brings? Whole bunch of hoes and different area codes. See, once you're taught the game, because my mama taught him the game, once you sit over here and you dress up, now all of a sudden the person that put you on, now all of a sudden you got cocky with it. So guess what? He started dibbling and dabbling, doing whatever. My mom was going through her own little shit with her Fed case because she had got caught up. And really it wasn't even her, but not my story to tell. And catch me all. He turned around, and while he was fucking around, he turned around and found, guess what? My little brother's mother. Yeah. And guess what? Within my little brother, see, my dad was married to my mom. He got divorced and got remarried to this woman, which is my little brother's mom. I'm not going to disrespect her. But she knew that he was married. So we gonna call a spade a fucking spade. But whatever, she has her own story. But the point of the matter is that guess what? This woman fell in love with my dad for what my mom put him on to. But that's okay. My dad was very much a womanizer. My dad was very much a man that sat over here and had anger issues. See, my dad was the type to sit over here and guess what? He didn't know how to control his anger, so he was beating bitches the fuck up. Including my moms. Including my siblings' parents before. But the point of the matter is that the reason why I'm telling you this story is because, to be honest, it has everything to do with who the fuck I am. Moved on. And from that, guess what? That relationship with my brother's mom did not last. And from there, catch me. He kept going on to women, trying to find love in hopeless places. See, that's the funny thing about my dad. He very much was a lover boy. He just didn't know how to control his emotions. He very much wanted to be married. He wanted to do the whole shebang with people. Wanted to do the whole love shit with people. But he didn't realize that he had gave birth to love. All the love that he was looking for was within his kids. We could have said over here, he had 6 of us. Sorry, 7. He could have asked us for love. We would have gave it to him. But the point of the matter is that as soon as he moved on to the next fucking person, he forgot about the kids from the prior situation. Taking care of fucking women and they motherfucking kids, because the D-boy, see, he learned it from my mom, but the D-boy did not stop. The D-boy kept going and going and dealing with fucking people until he got caught up within his own shit. And then mind you, the bitch that he fucking sit over here and catch me, the woman that he ended up with when he actually got caught up was the same motherfucker that turned him in for some fucking money. Congratulations, Dad. You should have just stayed with fucking one of our moms. At least they loved your ass. But the point of the fucking matter is that I'm sitting over here talking to y'all real quick is because the story of my dad is that he chose other women and other women's kids over us, over his own kids. So guess what that brought to me? Cause we gotta tie it back in, right? We telling stories, right? Who did that make me? Because y'all, I was raised about my dad's side of the family. I just wasn't raised with him. So who does that make me? A person that didn't really know the game like that as far as dating. That made me a person that kind of felt like she wasn't worthy. Created abandonment issues. But then I had to realize that, listen, all these issues that I have was the issues that he had. And that's the whole big loop around, y'all. This is the whole big loop around, okay? The whole big loop around is that, listen, our parents fucking passed down their traumas on to us. It's inevitable. Even if they there or if they not fucking there. See, I want you to understand something, y'all. I had an anger issue and I'm still working on this shit to this day. Actually, I like to say I got rid of my anger issues. But I used to have a really bad anger issue and I never knew where the fuck it came from. I got it from my dad. I don't know if my dad ever fucking really got rid of his anger issues, to be honest. But what I do know is that, and catch me, you said my dad was a rolling stone. Very much so. But the point of the matter is that, y'all, I don't hold resentment towards my dad. And it's funny. It's so funny because it's like, you know what? You had your own story to live. Like, you had your own story to create. I just wasn't supposed to be a part of that story. And another thing that I understand, that maybe if I was a part of your story, you would have dimmed my light. You would have put your anger issues onto me. Maybe you would have whooped my ass, and it might have triggered me to not be shit and to deal with people that's like you. Which is funny because sometimes I still find myself dealing with people that are like my dad, because he was very much emotionally unavailable, and that's the people that I was attracted to, at least in the beginning. But the reason why I'm telling you all this is because you're our parents. Our parents do us in before we even know. So then we're left alone. We become adults, right? And we sit over here and we trying to figure out why the fuck I got all this anxiety? Why the fuck I got all this depression? Why the fuck I got all this fucking insecurities within myself? Why the fuck am I trying to be a people pleaser? Why the fuck am I trying to sit over here and fucking find the next relationship? Why the fuck do I have anger issues? Why? Why do I feel like I need a relationship in order to validate who the fuck I am? Why? Why do I feel like, guess what, any person that I'm supposed to be with is supposed to complete me? How come did I get, maybe I'm not a womanizer, maybe I'm a mananizer because my dad was a womanizer. Maybe my mom always wanted love and wanted the family that she grew up in because she was raised in a 2-parent household. Yeah. So she always tried to get it right. But in reality, I want y'all to understand something. I got to a point where I love who the fuck I am. Through my depression, through my sadness, shit, through my happy days. Because y'all know I be fucking happy as fuck. Be living like shit. But y'all, I love who the fuck I am. But I couldn't turn out to be this person unless I went through all that shit, which is my dad not being there, my mom being a workaholic, fucking my sister fucking hating me growing up, fucking my other sister really beating my ass too. Like, how you doing about this? I couldn't be this person had I not went through everything that it was that I went through, y'all. And it's like, I'm going to keep it a beam with you. Just a few years ago, if you would have asked me if I love myself, I'd be like, nah. If you would have asked me a few years ago, like, what is you doing? What you living for? I'd be like, I don't know. I don't know what my purpose is. But the point of the matter is that, I want y'all to understand something. Only y'all can find y'all true purpose. Only y'all can sit over here and fucking make yourself happy and all, like, and that's within you. But the point of the fucking matter is that you gotta realize and catch me, or you gotta sit over here and find your own purpose and enjoy your own self, because that's the only way you can continue to fucking live. See, I'm so grateful for each experience that I went through. I'm so grateful for everything, all the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because guess what? It makes for good stories. Y'all, I got so many stories for fucking days. But the point of the matter is that y'all be looking at y'all stories as bad stories. But the more that y'all heal, y'all can actually laugh at y'all bad stories. But y'all don't want to laugh at y'all bad stories because y'all bad stories still hurt you. But in reality, they not supposed to hurt you. They just supposed to be lessons for you. Even your dad not being there, or maybe for some of y'all, y'all mom wasn't there. Maybe both of y'all parents wasn't fucking there and y'all was raised by grandma. There was a few years where I was raised by my grandma, as quiet as it's kept. But the point of the fucking matter is that all of them lead up to and catch me. They all make for a good ass story. You are, and guess what? Even if you don't like who the fuck you are right now, I like who the fuck you are. I like how you turned out. I like how you headstrong. I like how you loyal. I like how you fucking are a beautiful person, even though you insecure as fuck. I like how y'all sit over here and fucking, guess what? I learned how y'all turn nothing into fucking something. I like how y'all fucking sit over here and be like, people tell you that you ain't gonna do shit and now all of a sudden you doing it. I like it. I like the motherfucking hustle. The point of the matter is that it can't just be me saying that I like it though. You gotta like your fucking self. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And you can't hide that from no fucking body. Because the more that you keep hiding and being this facade ass fucking person, then guess what? Facade ass people is what's going to be around you all your fucking life. And that's all I got for y'all today. Any questions? That's all I got for y'all. Enjoy your fucking holiday if you'll celebrate this holiday. If you don't, I understand. What I will say is that if you're just now joining this fucking live, this will be updated to my fucking YouTube. So all the messages, catch you from the beginning, okay? I love you guys. Look at me getting a little ham. No, I love me. I go live when I'm called to go live. At first I was going live twice a day, but lately I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. I haven't been feeling called to go live every day because I feel like God has been working on me. But I'm gonna get back in routine in a few. I'm gonna just pop up. But I'm gonna just sit over here and I'm gonna tell y'all, and I'm gonna leave it here. The only person that can change your life is you. The only person that could love you as much as the love that you're seeking is you. The only person that's going to sit over here and show up for you is you. The only person that's going to sit over here and fucking get you out of that rut is you. What you do with that information, it's on you. I love you guys, and I'll see y'all next time, okay?